What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 101 of Lyon Live here in Football Manager 2019. Hopefully you guys are all doing fantastic. We're back again. It's been a week since the last episode. If you don't follow me on Twitter, which, I mean, if you're not doing it at this point, like, just go do it. Go make a Twitter account. Do it for me. You won't know that I was ill, basically, if you didn't have Twitter. I tweeted about it at the time, but I have been horribly sick. Especially kind of early on last week. And as a result, I've been waiting for my voice to recover. I was just completely bunged up. I was kind of overdosing on vapor rub and Lemsip. And yeah, the last thing on my list of things that I needed to do with my body was sit and talk for a couple of hours, you know, doing Lyon Live episodes. So I just took the week off to make sure I'm back and good. My voice is still kind of a bit tender now. You might be able to hear it. You probably can't. It sounds normal, but I can still feel it a little bit. So we're back again, but I'm not sure how long for. I want to endeavour to get to 45 minutes in kind of length today's episode. Of course, we've got the first round of the Europa League against Sporting today. It's a single-legged game as well, so it's a massive game to start the episode. You know, it's been a long wait for this one, and, well, hopefully the wait's going to be worth it, and we're going to cruise on into the second knockout round, but, well, we'll have to wait and see. Besides that, we've got a game against Havre. I never learned how to say this name's team. I guess it's Havre. We'll go with it. Someone tell me, please. I've been butchering it and saying it 5 or 6 different ways throughout this series. You would have thought by now I would have learnt how to pronounce it, but no, that would be expecting too much of me, of course. But yeah, really excited to get back into this. It's always, I'm sure you guys experience this yourself. Sometimes you just have a break from a YouTube save, or not a YouTube save, but FM save, unless you're doing YouTube videos, I guess. But sometimes you just have a break from an FM save and you come back kind of rejuvenated and re-energized. And that's kind of how I feel today, you know. While I've been ill, normally I'd be playing a load of FM in my free time, you know, maybe continuing on with all my YouTube saves or whatever projects it is I'm working on, until, you know, I can't continue doing them anymore without a need to record. But with this being the only series really that I'm playing right now, it just resulted in a situation where I had absolutely no Football Manager to do. So as a result, I've kind of been sat there like chomping at the bit to get back into it. And so it's just nice to be back now doing it. I noticed there, by the way, Okoro Wanta, absolutely incredible, listed as a world-class player. He's 19. He's 19. How much did we pay for him? It's 46 million from Atalanta. I mean, I don't know about you. It's just great value for money. I don't think you're going to get much better value for money. Of course, we've got Bast as well. I'm really curious at the end of this series to, you know, holiday forward and see how good some of these players are. I'm sure that in amongst all the young players in our team, there are some seriously talented players. Anyway, let's queue up our best 11 here. Of course, Gibels is out, and we're also going to be suspended, which is a little less than ideal. We're also a player short on the bench, so that's, I guess, Trincão's ticket into the team. In terms of what we're going to do, I think we will play Sunday out on the right. Is he fit? He is fit. Right, congratulations, you're out on the right. Maulida will bring into the team. I think we'll play Moise Kean as the advance forward, and Maulida just off him there. I still need to swap up the bench here. We'll bring in James Taylor, I think, for Gibels. And our last change, don't really have another attacking midfielder to bring in other than Stavrace. So you know what? Renato Sanchez, you're going to get the nod on the bench today. And yeah, let's see how we get on going into this one. As I said, this is a single-legged game. So it's kind of an entire season of hope on this one game. They've got a regen up front. This guy, Carlos Valentine? Oh, Valente. I can't read. It's Valente. He looks quite good, though, doesn't he, at 19 years old? With our kind of massive infinite budget, maybe I should be signing him. But, well, with it now being February, the transfer window's slammed shut. Any signings I do now are not going to be joining us for a while. I'm going to be trying to fight against my natural instincts of throwing money just at any player who I like the look of in the market. Instead, we're just going to play it smart. Let's calm down and, well, let's keep our heads switched on, shall we, boys? This is a massive game for us against Sporting. I noticed they've got Jonathan Silva at left back. This guy was like really hyped up. He was absolutely insane a few years ago in FM. I don't know if the international caps he's got here are some that he has in real life. He's not as good as he once was. I think it was FM14, I want to say, where he was like a nutty wonder kid at like 18 years old. I say that, and in my head, it's like FM14 wasn't that long ago. You know, I was doing YouTube videos and streaming on that, and then I think about it a little bit more and realise that was 6 years ago. That's crazy. I mean, in January, I will have been doing FM videos on YouTube for 7 years. That's not a small commitment, is it, really? Not a small commitment, one little bit. But, well, let's not think about the future. This is a single-legged game. I know I've said it. I'm going to emphasise it. This is a straight shootout. Whoever wins this game is going through. I'm obviously hoping it's going to be a sporting... I mean, they look pretty good. Valente didn't look that great up top, and Jonathan Silva, who we looked at, didn't look that great. But they have got some very talented players like Thiago Martins in their team. Lenglet reads that. Now with Ndombele on a booking. He's got to be a good boy here. Nothing silly, please. Tanguy. Just nothing unnecessary. Sunday out on the right-hand side. Can he show his world-class potential? He could a little as he crossed it into his international counterpart, the fellow Italian Moise Kean. Unfortunately, his header off the mark. We're struggling to win the battle for possession convincingly, but we have created more than Sporting in this first half. But it remains 0-0, and that, you know, the longer it remains more, 0-0, the more I'm going to get a little nervous. I'm going to get a little on the edge of my seat. Could we get a goal straight from kickoff? That would be nice. Have a go, Ndombele. Gives it to Vargas. Maybe. Yeah, maybe not. The ball right at the end there, you felt like it was one pass away from being a great opportunity, but it was blocked away. I'm a little bit scared about Ndombele being on a booking, you know. Is it a risk I'm willing to continue with? I think it is, at least for the short-term future, but a player we might look to take off. Sunday whipping in the ball here. Maolida onto the woodwork, hits the woodwork again, gets the rebound. I mean, the whole world froze. It was like that moment, you know, in the typical sports movie where there's that last Hail Mary of like an effort and the whole thing goes into slow motion. You've got all the close-ups on the players' faces. That was this here. Hits the woodwork twice. Maolida is just the first to pounce onto it. It's only his 5th of the year. It might turn out to be his most important of the year, though. It gives us that goal cushion. It eliminates some of the nerves, some of the lingering doubt in the back of my mind that makes me think it's only one. It's no, you know, it's in the balance. Of course, I believe with this only being a single leg, it would just go straight to extra time with a draw. We don't want that to happen, though. Maulida's through again. This time, Pedro pulls off an incredible stop. That was a nutty save. Let's take off Ndombele on his booking. I'm going to bring in Lucas Romero for him. A player who, to be fair, himself has had a few issues with discipline over the years, but one world-class midfielder for another. With 25 minutes left, we should be cruising here. They've not had a chance, really, in this entire second half. I don't think they've even had a shot on target. We've been, well, very, very good here. And while we're looking very good with Sunday bringing the ball forward, whips it back post. Maolida, oh my gosh, how have you missed that, son? How have you missed that, you wazzock? Free back post header, wide of the mark. Not by far. A couple of inches, perhaps, but a couple of inches short of going in. A feeling that I'm all too familiar with here at Lyon. 15 minutes left. I'm going to bring in, you know what? Little cheeky roll of the dice. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to bring in Francisco Trincao, and on the other side of things, I think, you know what? I'm going to bring in James Taylor, the young Scot, a player who's not had enough game time. Moise Kean has been developing. Of course, he was out at the start of the season with a long-term injury. Taylor is a very, very good, exciting, you know, prospect, an international for Scotland, and the kind of player who we just need now to step up and just, you know, if a chance falls his way, take it, make this comfortable. 7 minutes left. They're on the attack. It's Jonathan Silva, the left back, crossing it towards the back post. Trincao, that is an awful header. And I am starting to panic a little bit. Trincao has had an absolute disaster there. Valente, I mean, what are we doing, boys? What are we doing? Trincao, you know, the Portuguese player. I mean, is there something going on here? Have they been contacting you before the game? I mean, it's just questionable defending all round. All three of our centre-backs kind of just playing terribly, terribly narrow. They've scored one. It's come very much against the flow of play. I don't really want to make a panic change now in reaction to it, but if Kai Havertz does anything too crazy here, it might be necessary. Kai, he does get it away, but gives away the ball. Markovic wins the header. Can we just... I don't like this. I don't... Just... Not here, not now. There's 4 minutes left. This is a do-or-die game. I trust most of you with the ball at your feet, except you. You let us down before, Trincao. Set the record straight. Here he is, number 65. He goes right to Sunday, who's had lots of balls into the box. Disappointing final ball a lot of the time. Not a great one there either. Trincao forced to chase, although he'll get it to Maulida. Pulls it back to Lucas Romero on off the bench. Lucas, you beautiful man. Not what I brought you on off the bench to do, but we'll take it. He scores it. Trincao kept the ball alive. I was worried that Maulida was going to have an effort. He didn't. He took a touch, bought some time, came to Romero, and that is pretty composed by him at the edge of the area, in truth. That makes it 2-1 here. And it is just almost certainly what we deserve from this game. We have been by far and away the better team in this game. Pedro Silva is going to loop it far up the pitch here. We deal with it. Trincao now with Maulida, and well, the full-time whistle's going to go. Maulida, is he going to get man of the match? He might well do. He did. Wasn't the craziest, most standout game by him, but it was... He I guess, was just the player who, on the rare occasion, showed the best, glimpses of quality. So we do go through in that first knockout round. My understanding is now that the second round... I was about to say the second round is over 2 legs. I've lied. It's another single-legged game. I mean, that makes me nervous. I guess the nice thing is, at least here against Sporting, we were always in control of the game, you felt like. If it's a single-legged game and your players just don't turn up, it's just a bit of a disaster. Anthony Lopez is expecting to be starting more games. Let's just offer him to clubs. If anyone could bail me out here, I wish there was a way I could talk to him now. I wish there was a way I could talk to him and just say, look, you know what? I know I promised you that football. It ain't happening. Can you talk Markovic out of wanting to leave, though? If you could do that, no. Toussaint could do it. Valencia, I mean, that's not an easy draw. That is not an easy draw in the second round. I'm just curious. So, is the quarter-final over 2 legs? Yes, okay, so the quarter-final actually was over 2 legs because it talks about away goals. And then the earlier, second round doesn't talk about that. Okay. I mean, Valencia are good. They're not bad. They've got a former player, Mario Ferreira. How has he done for them? He's not done that great. I mean, 2 goals and 6 assists in 8 starts and 8 appearances off the bench isn't bad. Hasn't quite lived up to things. Lucas Romero, who was the hero in that last game, unfortunately out with a twisted ankle. I've still got to focus on the league. We've still got to consider that chase, the fact that chase is technically still on. The other thing to think about perhaps a little bit is just the fact that we are, going to be playing again in the not so distant future, and I might need to rotate things around a little bit. Might bring Stavarace into the bench. Of course, he got a goal on his debut, albeit in a cup game. He is an experienced player. Renato Sanchez can come in there. I mean, our team is ridiculously good here. I feel like it's mad that we have almost, transfer profit here at Lyon. We really have followed the Lyon mantra of having to sell players on to make money. But at the same time, we've more than made up for that by, really hunting out, I feel like, really top quality players in the market and making the most out of them. So Lucas Romero is going to miss that Valencia game. That is a mini disaster. I'm still sat with all this money. I should just keep an eye out, I guess, just for, anyone who our scouts find who they recommend really, really highly and they tell me is the next best thing since sliced bread. Like Jorge here. I mean, he looks pretty good. It's a shame that he'd count as, non-European. That's kind of the big shame there. Phil Foden, is your contract still up at the end of the year? I still wouldn't mind Phil Foden. Still wouldn't mind him. If he wants less than 60,000 a week, he wants 81. Can you go as low as 65? A bonus after international games. I'll lower that a little and increase the duration by a year. He did not like that. 65,000, 95,000 after your international games. Come on now. Come on, Phil. I would love you to sign Phil. Not that we need another playmaker, but just that you're kind of my kind. I mean, he's actually he's willing to take a pay cut. I almost certainly don't need him, but he's very, very good. I'm just thinking we'll just sell him back to one of the English teams, and after Brexit, they're going to pay a premium. You know, English players, the value is going up in the market. At least that's what I'm choosing to tell myself. Not sure we need him. Orifice here. It's definitely not how you say his name. It's probably Orifice. I don't know why I've rolled the R. That's not a Spanish thing. He plays at Atalanta. Yeah, well, who else played for Atlanta? Sunday did. This guy has very, very good form as well. I would like to sign him if we can get him for a good price. And by a good price, I mean less than 5 million. I'm not paying 11 million for him. No, thank you. Get out of there. Withdrawing from those negotiations. I mentioned about being worried about player fitness. I do wonder against, you know, the opposition we've got here. Maybe we can just play a slightly rotated team if there is any fitness concerns. Lots of our players playing again. Monaco won. Unfortunately, did PSG play? I mean, oddly enough, the way things have played out now, we actually care more about PSG's games than Monaco. Although I say that, Monaco have now played 3 more games than us, and they've got 7 points from them, or 9 points from them. They've pulled 7 points clear. So, although we've been sat there thinking, you know, we've got the games in hand, we can catch Monaco here. Monaco are just laying down the gauntlet. They are winning and winning and winning and winning, and they're saying, you know what? If you're going to overtake us, you've got to do the exact same as us. Not making it easy. Anyway, in terms of team stuff here, did I not register Karim Thomas? Oh, okay. Karim Thomas and Stavarace are both available for reserves. That's an error. Because you are 2 players who I'm probably going to want to play at some points. So let's change that. They're not going to be available for today's game now. That's annoying. Right, Taylor, you're going to come in. And then on the bench, what centre midfielder or just player do I have? Mamadou Sakho, this is your moment. Whenever I say this is your moment, I think of that song from last year on Football Manager. You know, was it Chasing Status? I'm pretty sure it was. We'll keep Havertz and Vargas on there, kind of wings for their stronger feet. Of course, it's a little bit odd. Vargas is right-footed, but he's way better on the left than the right, and Havertz is the other way around. But I would love them to get better at playing, you know, the wing that best suits them in terms of their footedness. So even if it does mean a slight hit to their performance, at least to start the game, we're going to play them on their debatably weaker wings, but with time, what I think will become their stronger sides. I guess the other benefit with having Vargas and Havertz is if I really want to, I can just swap the wings that they're on. If we're having a bit of a, you know, a struggle, we can switch things up. Anyway, we're taking on Haver here. They've actually got Tizzy up front for them, so we'll keep a close eye on that. They're playing a 5-3-2, so probably looking to hit us on the break quite a lot. I would like to think we match up quite nicely against them. The fact they've not got really wide players in the advanced areas, bar their wing-backs, should mean that we don't get punished as much in the wide areas as we sometimes do with a 3-at-the-back system. We'll have to see if that is how it actually plays out here. Judging by how this highlight started, their wing-backs are going to push up quite high and provide width, so we are going to have to be quite wary of them here as we're trying to force out an error, and while it's going to happen, Moise Kean, I mean, he's had a shot that's gone, I was about to say it's gone for a throw, and it's actually been saved. It was hard to spot from the angle that we had. But that was the best chance of the game so far, and we've missed it. How are now? Ball whipped in, right on the 6-yard box. A very awkward one for the keeper to get, but Olazabal, what a name that is, he's got it, Olazabal. He's going to lump it clear, and Ndombele says, thank you very much. He gobbles it up like a pelican guzzling fish. I don't know where I'm going with this. We're with Vargas. He whips it in. Keane's there. Woodwork is rattled, and it is still shaking. That was just a thunderous header, really. The ball whipped in from the right-hand side. Unfortunately, we couldn't find a breakthrough. Maybe Vargas is the man with a plan. He's got his plan. He's actioned it. And he's got us the goal. It's his 8th of the year. Not bad for a player playing in the wider areas for us. Direct free kick. Not the craziest free kick, really. I feel like Olazabal, he's going to feel like he could have done a little better there. That was savable, to say the very, very least. And while we have our noses in front, I would like to get our heads and toes in front next. If we could get another goal, that would be good. I don't know why I've gone with heads and toes there, as opposed to, like, what would be the next bit to get in front after your nose? Your eyes? I don't know. Keane whips it in. Ndombele hits it. I mean, that will do me. He is the Tanguy of the moment. He's done quite good there, hasn't he? Makes it 2-0. We can breathe a sigh of relief. It's his 6th of the year. Our midfielders really have chipped in with a decent chunk of goals so far this season. Ndombele, lovely little effort. Gotta love that. Just sneaking in there. And you can see why they're 18th. They've done nothing so far. I say that. They're going to... Karma. Karma. You can't say anything nasty, otherwise the game hears it and reacts to it. It's their first shot on goal. Saponic with it. I mean, Awar, could he have done a little bit better with their heading there, perhaps? Is that Lenglet? I think it is, at the back post. Just caught napping. 2-1. We had our noses ahead. Now we just have our whiskers ahead. I don't know where I'm going with this. They've got another chance potentially here. I say another chance even though it's our throw in our own half, because that is not a dissimilar position to where the last chance started that they scored. Keane here wide, whips it in. Maulida can't get there, but it will fall to Ndombele again. Give it to Havertz. To Maulida, hits the woodwork. Can we find a way through here? Not at this time of asking. It's the second time we've hit the crossbar here. 14 efforts, 8 on target. A decent number of clear-cut chances as well. But at the end of the day, it is only 2-1. And I'm not all that happy about it, boys. Let's change things up and see how we go going into the second half, shall we? Going to be a big 45 minutes for us. We need to keep that pressure that we've talked about. We need to keep it going. And well, Vargas, that was a better free kick. I'm lost for words. We didn't need Shadas, did we? He was our free kick specialist before. A new hero has entered the building. That is a nutty free kick. Can we discuss the dip on that? That was just a little bit crazy. A little bit silly, you could argue there. That was just looping and dipping, and he's hit it so well, has Vargas. Every right to celebrate that. With Havertz here, whips it in. Lenglet. Militao, I mean, it's his first of the year. He's not going to score an easier goal than that. He's probably not going to get an easier chance than that to score either. Bit of ping-pong in the box. Ultimately, the keeper is on the ground, sat on his arse. Caught, completely off guard by just the ping-pong in the box, and it just finds its way eventually into the back of the net. I'm just thinking about who might be struggling with fitness here. Havertz, come off for Trincao. Vargas, I need to keep one for the hat-trick. Let's bring in Freitas, and you know what? Let's bring in one Renato Sanchez for Ndombele. Give Sunday a little bit of a rest. He's still coming back from that, injury, as we saw during the week. Fitness test was required, but we needed to monitor it. It was fine. There wasn't really too much risk there, but at the same time, given his injury concerns, I'm kind of happy just to rotate things a little bit there. Awar tries to get it in. It's cleared away to Militao. I mean, he's got a taste for the goals. He's surely going to want another. We do need to regroup at the back here. I'm not sure who that is, but that was a good little tackle to stop any chance of the counter. 4-1. I mean, relax. Vargas, I would love you to get a hat-trick. If you could do that, fantastic. If you can't, I mean, save the goals for more important moments, I guess. Ball whipped in by Trincao, dealt with. We'll get a second bite of the cherry. What's he going to do with it? Gives it to... I mean, Militao... It wasn't a bad effort. It was not a bad effort from range by Militao there. Speculative, yes, but... I mean, it asked questions, and the keeper did have to answer them. It was lethal, really. They might have one last chance here. They're not going to have it. They had 2 shots all game. It finishes 4-1. It's not quite as dominant as I would have liked. I would have loved that clean sheet. But we'll take it. Tizzy apparently didn't have the best of games. The good news is Auger did have a good game as Inter and Cagliari drew. Can Gungam do us a favour? Come on, Gungam. Beat PSG. Do it for me, Gungam. For me. I'm your biggest... They've lost 3-0. They've lost... It's not what we needed. It's not what we required in that situation, regrettably. You can see we've now played 2 games less than Monaco, 4 points behind. Played the same number of games as PSG. They're only 4 points ahead. Like, it's still anyone's game, really. The way things are shaping up right now, I don't necessarily believe we're in for a run-in like we were a couple of years ago, where it all came down to the final day of the season to decide who won the league. But we just need to graft out results against the likes of Lyon here. You know, the smaller teams that we've got in upcoming games. We've just got to try and do everything we can in our power against those. Emil Ollison, he's doing okay in Ligue 2. He's grabbed 9 goals in 20 games. That's not too bad a return, I guess. Have we got anyone named in the team of the week? Of course we have. It's Vargas. 2 free kick goals for him. Not bad for a player with 14 free kick taking. I feel like his 17 technique helps him out massively there. Spagnolo adding to the ever-growing list of injuries. Can't say I'm the biggest fan of the injuries. Although apparently, according to that graphic there, Goebbels could be back in 3 weeks. That would be insane. I feel like when he got injured, we thought that was his season done. What was his injury? I'm trying to remember now. I mean, it is 3 weeks to 2 months, so there's still quite a lot of variation. It's a broken foot. He's been out currently for 6 weeks. But he could be on the road back. And that in itself is quite exciting. He won't be back for the game against Monaco, which is in a week's time. But he will be back, I imagine, for the tail end of things. You can see here, PSG taking on Saint Etienne. Saint Etienne in 15th. A couple of games in quick succession, though, for PSG. Could prove troubling. Can Saint Etienne capitalise? Can they do us a favour? Come on. The Green and White Army. I doubt that's what they're called. They couldn't do it. They got close as well. They lost 1-0. Let's hope PSG now have a game at the weekend to add to their congestion woes. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Reckles played a full 90 minutes for Sochaux, as did Jorge Kone. He's not developed quite as much as I would have liked Kone. Like a lot of players, though, we didn't bring him in for exactly the largest sum of money. Venegas is still just doing wonderful, wonderful things over at Sociedad. And Emeka Okafor, he's doing okay at Cordoba. Not really anything to write home about. I feel like we've got more exciting defensive prospects in the team. But he's kind of just doing the business. We've got Phil... Do we want to sign Phil Foden? You know what? He's coming in as a freebie. I'm just going to take him. Why not? I mean, the why not answer is you've got too many attacking midfielders, Jack. You're already having to pick between Havertz and Aouar a lot of the time when Sunday and Vargas are fit. You are absolutely correct in that assessment, but it's Phil Foden. And we all love a bit of Phil. I think it's an exciting little transfer. I don't feel like he's going to necessarily do better than what we've already got in terms of our, for example. But he's coming in as a rotation option, I guess. I mean, you can see the comparison here. A little bit more technical, a little bit more vision. Of course, vision in terms of the polygon is a combination of flair, passing and vision. Interestingly enough, Aouar actually has slightly better vision. It's just the raw flair that Phil Foden possesses which swings it in his favour. I feel like as a freebie, good little bit of business. Right, we're taking on Lyon here. I'm going to bring in Sunday. Going to move Vargas out onto the left. Our bench looks pretty good, doesn't it? Fitness is still a little bit of a concern across the team. I'd quite like to give Stavarace a start here. Maulida's not been great. I say that. He got man of the match earlier, but not been great. We'll give him a little rest and give Stavarace a chance to show us what he's made of as the complete forward. He looks like the complete forward, doesn't he, at 19? He's very, very good. The rest of our team kind of just picks itself at this point. I feel like defensively we don't have quite as many options. I guess the only one really would be bringing in Anthony Lopez in goal. Been interesting watching Donnarumma this year. Honestly, in the last couple of years in FM, I've not really signed a super world-class goalkeeper. I'd be lying if I was to say that Donnarumma has drastically impressed me. What I would say is I feel like a lot of the time in Football Manager it's easy to ignore what a keeper does well because outside of clear-cut chances you don't really see what they're doing, which I feel like is stating the obvious, but I feel like there's a lot of basic saves that keepers make that they sometimes screw up and you'll only ever see them when they're in replays, but actually throughout the duration of a game they can consistently be making stop after stop. You don't really take notice of it, I guess. Anyway, we're on the attack here. Vargas on the left-hand side whips into Keane. Lovely ball in. Lovely header. Goal number 11 for him. Vargas, though, with the assist. Man of the match last week. Could well be on course to get it again here. Throws it to Toussaint, back to Vargas. On the left-hand side, uses his weaker foot and the header there by Keane, expertly directed in off the post. Half an hour gone, we look good. Would love us to get a few goals, get them flowing. With Gabel's missing, we've kind of lost our top goal scorer, but truth be told, players have really stepped up and impressed me. And one of the players who has stepped up certainly has been Ndombele there. As has Vargas, really. The whole midfield is kind of banded together, it feels like, at this point. They've really, as a collected effort, seen us turn around our form somewhat. Anyway, half-time looks like it is just going to be the 1-0. They've not had a shot on goal, though. They've not done anything. They've had one corner and they've committed 6 fouls, and that's been that. I'm going to tell the players still I'm not happy, but not feeling a massive desire, nor really a need to change anything just yet. Half an hour gone, or half an hour left rather. Quarter of an hour gone of this half. Stavarace's not a great game. Let's bring in Freitas for him. One young attacking option for another. Alongside Maulida and Keane. I want to give them opportunities. Same kind of goes for James Taylor, I guess, at the end of the day. We've got an abundance of young attacking players. Probably need to look at loan options for a couple of them. But still, not a bad little situation to be in at the same time, I've got a VAR decision. I think this happened outside the area, so I'm not going to get too carried away here. I'm pretty confident from what we saw in 3D, this is not going to be given as a penalty. I mean, watch the game just prove me completely wrong here. There you go. I take it all back. I apologise. It was inside the box. I'm not going to complain. I assume it's Awar on it. It is. He steps up, he hits it, he finds the back of the net. It ripples. 2-0. We'll take that. That is now just some breathing room acquired. Sends the keeper the wrong way. Slots it into that bottom corner. 23 minutes left. I'm going to look to make a change or two, I feel like. Let's bring in David Diaz for Markovic. And with our last sub, I'm going to give Trincao a little bit more game time. We're going to bring him in for the goal scorer, or not the goal scorer, the assist maker, Vargas. No man of the match performance on this occasion for him. But I do want to give Trincao more and more first team opportunities, and with some of the departures we've had, to the likes of Shadas, and I guess through injury things have opened up. We are now in a spot where I feel like I can give him more options and more time as he had a couple of years ago. We are going to VAR here. I think this is for if the foul happened in the box or not. Again, this time I'm going to say it is going to be in the box. My eyes were caught wandering, so I didn't actually see where the foul took place. Was it in the box? Was it outside? It was out. Okay, there you go. That's why we have the video ref for errors like mine. Vargas isn't around, so it's actually going to be Trincao to take the free kick. He hits it, crashes against the crossbar. Not the best of clearances either. Aouar's going to mop up the pieces. Still plenty of men committed to the attack here. And right on cue, the game just ends the highlight. I mean, I should have known. As soon as I bigged it up, I hinted at the fact maybe there was a chance of a goal, and it just completely shuts down all our hopes and dreams right there. Trincao, can you do it this time? No, that's not. It's just not a good free kick. Just not a good look. 2 minutes left of the game. We have got another highlight. Would love a clean sheet. Would love another for the collection. Trincao, who has been surprisingly involved in highlights since he came on off the bench, running down this left-hand side, now building it over onto the right. Sunday's there. With Tussauds, we might look to ping it from one side of the pitch to the other. David Diaz, the young Colombian, given some game time here. Now with Sunday, wearing that number 18 shirt, he cuts inside and he does everything right until the finish, and then it's just such a tame, underwhelming effort by comparison to everything that preceded it. I mean, a minute left. I feel like this is just the pointless highlight at this point. I want to believe I'm wrong, though. Sunday tries to get its Aouar, completely misplaces his pass. With less than a minute left, even if we were to concede now, the win should be in the bag at 2-0. We have looked very good. They've not had a single shot on goal all game. They've had 43% of the ball. We've caused them, I think it'd be fair to say, headaches. Militao heads it clear to Freitas, who gives it away, but that's surely it. Just blow the whistle, ref, now. Put us all out of our misery. We all want to pack up and go home. 10 seconds left. It's in their own half. It's 2-0 here. It's another win that we needed to get, and it makes it 3 wins out of 3 for today's episode, which is all I could really ask for. I was nervous about that Sporting game going into it. You can see here we go up onto 50 points now, which is not a bad little landmark to hit. Of course, something that we expect to hit each and every year, but we've hit it not too bad of a point. Our goal difference, by the way, plus 41. 11 goals conceded in 20. I consider that pretty impressive, as much as people will tell me that Donnarumma doesn't do enough for us. Clean sheets in half your games, I don't think you can really turn your noses up at that. It's what we needed, and it's exactly what we've got here. So our next game is going to be, next episode, and it's going to be against Monaco. It's going to be in 5 days' time. It's going to be played on the Wednesday. I've also got PSG on the horizon, who, looking at it, PSG have actually got 2 games before we play our next game. Or is it actually, have I lied? I've lied. They've got 1 game. It's on the Sunday. Let's go to it. Let's see how they get on. Rather than opening next episode with it, let's see how they do here, shall we? Who are they taking on? Who do we need to pull a miracle off for us? I wish I'd paid more attention now. Let's hope whoever it is does us a little bit of a favour. You know, guides us towards what could be a decent little result. Anyway, games being played. What's going to happen here? Don't know if Monaco have got a game. They might well have one, you know. We'll find out in just a second. Monaco do have one. It's against Saint Etienne. It's tomorrow. It's on the day of rest, except it's not the day of rest here in France. It's the day where it feels like we play the majority of our games. It's a Sunday. Gives Monaco 1 less day to recover. Note that down. That's an advantage. We played on the Friday, of course, so it's actually 2 days advantage there or thereabouts in terms of the recovery period for us. Naturally, we are going to see a fixture congestion happen here. Unfortunately, PSG winning there. Can Saint Etienne do us a favour? They've got a draw. I mean, that makes things a little more forgiving just to finish ahead of Monaco. If we now look at things here, we are 2 points behind them with 2 games in hand. So 2 wins would see us pull 4 points clear of them. Of course, with us playing them in the next game, that could be completely undone next time if it all backfires horribly, and we might find ourselves in quite a different little situation. But anyway, right on cue, autosave has kind of kicked in. That means we played 2 weeks today, so we're going to wrap things up here. I do hope you've enjoyed. As I said earlier, apologies for the lack of, just videos in the last week. My voice is kind of hurting even now talking. I'm going to take it easy. Expect another episode up, though, before the weekend kicks in. I do hope you've enjoyed this one, of course. If you have, do drop a like on it. Let me know that you got to the end of the video, and I will see you guys next time. It is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.